had to be in Compton
They,
soon.
they didn't know about when I first, because all my buddies, they wasn't into music like I was. And when I heard Fat Girl on My Jock, they was like, man, where you get that from? I was like, y'all ain't heard this? I'm thinking I didn't introduce something new. You know what I'm saying?
No, listen, that was the best part. Like, I think, especially music back in the day, was being able to find stuff that no one else had. You know, where you get that from, son?
and I was always like that, man. I was always digging, and then I had underground radio stations, because on the underground radio stations they let them curse. You know, a lot of folks didn't know that, like, but you had to find the radio station. You know, so I was all on that. That's back when NWA had like 12, 13 members. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you had to be young back then trying to find a radio station. Did you use clothes hangers and everything for antenna?
I had all kinds.
You gotta tune it. You gotta tune it like in between.
Tune it just right. You was trying to hit it just right on the angle with the antenna in the right way.
You don't want that digital dollar. You need that manual that you can kind of tune it. Like
the digital dollar, you probably ain't gonna get it unless you move the whole little stereo you have and start moving it around.
I'll tell you what the trick was. We had I had the radio, right? So I had that antenna on there. And then I wrapped some speaker wire on there, and I ran the speaker wire outside my window. Yep. That's the only way I can get it. I had the speaker wire outside the house. Oh, I made it
the right way.
I made it work. I made it work, man. But that was better. Hey, I know, being that you from New York, AD, you know about Skinny Boy. You remember Skinny Boys?
Skinny Boys?
Ah, the Skinny Boys. Well, that's back in the day, man. This is back when your boy came out.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Brothers of Legacy. We're already in the middle of our conversation, but he's breaking down Skinny Boys. We're about to get some education. He said, my dad said he had kids just to hold up. Oh yeah, there you go. Just stay right there.
Back in the day.
Oh man.
But you remember the rapping Duke?
Yes.
Yes. Skinny Boys came out right when the rapping Duke came out, but when they came out, they was more of pace rap. So they had a rhythm with the rap instead of you know just trying to make the words rhyme.
Right.
They had a flow with the rap. Skinny Boy, and they always had this deep bass that would just kill your speakers back. You know, back then they wasn't tripping.
You couldn't handle it. Right.
You couldn't handle it back then, but man, look, you go back in the day. That was my thing right there, man. Music.
Oh wow,
man! I've never heard of Skinny Boys, and I'm listening to them right now.
Are you listening to them?
Yeah, they got a beatbox going and everything.
Right.
Hey, Skinny Boys
what the hit was Jockbox. All right. Well, I'll look through it in a minute because I know YouTube or Facebook gonna shut me down. All right. Plus, you got some cusses in. I don't know when you start cussing. I mean, even though back in the day it wasn't as hard, especially like before the 90s. It wasn't as. It was like every once in a while they threw something in there. They wasn't like it was like constant.
You have to go back before 85.
It just depends. It has to be before like the hardcore rap started coming out.
Yes. Yeah,
because once you start getting
everyone was trying to be radio relatable, so there's like they can't, or they bleep them out, you know, or they bleep their own cusses out in the song.
From
well, you even know like NWA, they had to be radio edited on Express Yourself or whatever,
right?
You know, talking about don't smoke weed or cess,
right?
It comes out with an album called The Chronic,
right.
Yeah. Well, from 1985 to 89, that's when the transition just shifted. Right. It was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because
what's up, Jeff?
Kid Play was still out, Kwame was still out. Like you say, Salt and Pepper, all of them. You remember Steezo?
Yes.
Yeah, all them. Public Enemy and KRS-One and all them was like, but right around from 86.
Yeah.
When 85 and 86 when Ice-T came out.
Right. Oh, right.
And
Well,
then,
Ice-T was out a little bit before. Yeah, about 85.
Yeah.
and then they followed it up with Eazy-E.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it was a wrap then. When Easy hit the street, cruising down the street, it was over.
Yeah.
It was over.
Chris said, he said, the only part of me that's skinny is my credit score.
They're real trim, huh?
Real trim. Good morning, Mama.
Y'all here before we get into our next topic.
There's no topic.
Next week, grand jury declined to show up. Donald Trump on his tiptoes, trying to figure out how he gonna avoid this conviction. I'm just saying.
Next week, huh?
Yeah, they had this in saying that they.
Next week.
Grand jury.
Where do you get your inside information from?
This one was NPR radio. NPR radio.
Okay. NPR is pretty legit.
Yeah,
it's pretty legit.
Come on,
but it's on the show.
Another little tidbit that I got on my little news check this morning. So there was 9 death penalty that were executed since January 1st of 2023.
Wow.
And out of all 9 of those who were executed, 5 of them were from the state of Texas.
Wow.
Just to let you know, go to Texas and you be tripping. Yeah.
And not be tripping.
Yeah. Hey, it's just like the signs say, when you cross state line, don't mess with Texas. It's right there when you cross the state line.
I've never been. So I'm definitely
growing up from my hometown, we used to always say, come on vacation, leave on probation.
Wait, say that again.
Growing up in my hometown, we used to say, come on vacation, leave on probation.
Hey, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I was like, God, wow, that is super. I'm like, I over half the deaths in the United States for executions is in the great state of Texas.
Now, I don't know how many states do executions. I know
I think it's 22.
You said 22?
I think it's 22.
Wow.
It's 22. Texas uses the lethal injection. So they still use the gas chamber. They still use the electric chair. And in Utah, they still use the firing squad.
What? Jesus. Are you serious? I mean, listen, I know, like, what was that movie? Was it Pee Wee Herman? We're gonna stab him, then we kill him. No. We're gonna
but man, you went way back to Pee Wee Herman.
Right. I just thought about that line. Women just trying to get we're gonna do this, and then we kill it. We're gonna kill him, then we're gonna stab him. Oh, y'all I know. Taking it back.
I don't think it's Firing Squad. He has to be just joking. Just joking.
Sam is inquiring. Wait, why do you know this guy?
Like, okay, where can I get away with stuff at? States that allow execution: Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and Wyoming. Why is California not in there? They do away with the gas chamber?
They got rid of it. New York got rid of it.
I think they got
despite not permanently abolishing the death penalty, California, Oregon, and Pennsylvania remain in gubernatorial moratorium or whatever.
Moratorium.
Yeah. Which means executions are temporarily suspended.
There you go. Yeah. Jeff said, he said, "I take the lethal injection, please." Like, hey. What's up, Pastor? Good morning.
Morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Must be nice in Atlanta. You outside?
Oh no, he's in.
I'm in Nashville.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're in Nashville.
Yeah.
It's not Nashville. It's Nashville.
Nashville.
You can't pronounce the Ville.
Nashville.
He ain't got no shutters on his house.
Right. Keita said, "Did you hear they are trying to bring back the Jim Crow law in Mississippi?"
Oh wow, Jim Crow. Okay, you on a farm. I see the red barn behind you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta if you
gotta
can
turn my
adjust your green screen. Your green screen is still adjusted.
Got your wraparound porch.
Nice. He said, "Wow, McCory looked like a security guard." Top flight of the world, Craig.
Security.
Of the world.
You got action.
So this is kind of like a small conversation, but you guys, when it comes to hip hop, right? How do you feel about ghostwriters? Someone writing your lyrics. I've realized recently that a lot of, at least in New York, like the LLs and a lot of Juice Crew, a lot of their stuff written. Big Daddy Kane wrote a lot for them. He says someone on the set of the Tennessee music video. What's up, Reese?
I'm out of
I don't know, man.
I'm out of my buddy's farm in Tennessee.
Nice.
As far as ghostwriters, man, I think it just depends on how much that you allow. Now, if you take the whole song, and if you take a whole like a whole lyric and the hook,
and it's literally just my voice. Only ownership I have is my voice.
But that's for rap. I can see, R&B singers,
right?
They do it all the time. That's just part of the culture in R&B singing, right? But as far as hip hop, rap culture, if you take the whole song and the hook, that's something different. You know what I'm saying? I might have something to say about that.
We said ghostwriting.
I think when it comes to ghostwriters, you gotta, if you want to be a true hip hop person, you got to be able to at least write your own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the way the culture is within music, and you trying to make money and everything, it's okay to take someone else's lyrics and blow them up, especially if it comes from someone that's respected. So if Big Daddy Kane is writing your lyrics,
right,
and you're able to kill him, then he respects you as a lyricist enough to write something for you. I don't think he'd just write it for anybody. So I think that there's that part of it. And I think just the idea of making money these days,
right.
You want to put some stuff out, you want to make it work. But like Kaneem said, it's kind of how things are. You have producers producing beats. You should have writers writing lyrics.
Yeah, I mean,
right. I mean, I'm old school as well. Like, because and I'm with you, Kaneem. Like, because singing is different. Like, singing is a skill in itself. So, someone giving you the right lyrics, to complement your singing is one. But because hip hop is more lyrical, and your ability, the things that you say, is like they like merge together. Now, people have great voices. You got people like DMX. That had a great voice. So it's like, oh man, I don't think I can deliver this song like this. Give it to DMX. He'll deliver it better. Things like that maybe. Good morning, Latonia.
And that's another thing about the great ones. They always write their own lyrics. But I will say this: when you get a bunch of artists or lyricists or MCs, or it depends on what year you're talking about. But when you get a bunch of artists together, they'll feed off each other, and they'll be like, "No, man, you should say this."
Right,
so it's kind of like
that. See, that's different though. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, but it's not the whole song.
Not the whole song. No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, hey man, if you change these words, you know what I'm saying? These two bars go together, and then flip that. It's a little different. But when you take the whole song and the hook, And then I'm like, wow, come on now, you shouldn't even showed up. You know what I'm saying?
He
Like,
said you shouldn't even showed up.
But okay, so if we start looking at how things used to be,
Right.
and if we're comparing to how things used to be,
right.
Yeah, there's no reason you're not a lyricist or a rapper or an MC unless you're writing your own stuff.
exactly.
Right. But even then, back in the days, it used to be like creating your own beats and being this. Now it's sample everything's sampled. And so the whole game is messed up now. It's a whole different game. You can't compare what's going on today to the way it used to be. We're in the authentic years. We're old, all right. And so
and just to piggyback off what you said, most of the samples started off in the 90s.
Yeah. 100%.
When your boy Puff came along, he was the sample king. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I gotta say, Dre was sampling before that.
Yeah, Dre was
doing a lot of sampling.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff that I look back on and I'm like, golly.
But hold on. Before you start dogging sampling, sampling is a skill as well, though.
Oh, like, it is. I'm not dogging it. I'm talking about how the shift took place
in certain ways to sound different.
Exactly. You
back in my day.
Back in my day.
If you can sample it where it don't even sound like the original, though.
Right.
That's a talent.
Yes.
I'm saying that Puffy would sample it and he would have to get signed off because it sounded just like the original with a drum pattern behind it. That's it.
That
was it. I was like,
listen, he found a method that worked. And everybody else, you just can't knock what the business side of things, right? They're business people. Yeah. Like if I gotta pay you a little bit of money to use your beat, but I'm gonna make more and more off of it, I'm gonna chump you off a little 1% or $10,000 to use your beat, then by all means, I'm gonna use your beat.
Right.
Yeah, that just fly. And then the thing about sampling, it takes you to another place. It makes you remember the original songs and everything else. You think about I love it when you call me Big Pop.
Right.
And that sample right there. It just, when it comes on, it just takes you to a place.
Dog, when he came out with Juicy.
Right. Yeah. Juicy.
Now, if that wasn't if it didn't sound exactly.
Let it go, Kadeem. Let it go. It's okay, man.
Yeah. But those are skills, so you can't knock it. Like I might not be able to rap, but I can write. Right. So I'm gonna try to get my writing in someone's hands that can blow me up.
Right.
You think about how many people are like that.
Right.
That they do a lot of stuff for real. For example, he's been around for decades, right?
At least 25, 30 years,
30 years at least. And so you think about how he's still relevant today is not all based upon his talent, based upon his skill set behind the scenes.
Right. True.
Reed says the art form of being a rapper is writing. The creative part of rap is your writing, conveying your message, your words and thoughts. And he says, why do we think it's okay to remove authenticity? Change is not always good.
Well, it is not okay. That's why some of us old people still go back to the authentic stuff. But let me give you an example of why it's okay to me sometimes to get a writer and have a ghostwriter or whatever. Right. The DLC, for example. When he came out with the formula, he was his raps were tight, like he was going to be something big, and then lost his voice. Right, his skill set was still there. Right, he couldn't rap, but he was still writing. Right, he still stayed relevant from the writing.
Yeah, he did. Well, that's another reason why I listen to a lot more old school, and I'll be like, because don't get me wrong, I still listen to the new stuff, Lil Durk, 21 Savage, Lil Baby, I still listen to some of the new stuff.
Who baby? Who baby?
baby.
I still listen to the new stuff, but the lyrics that they have now compared to back then is just like it was a storytelling of life back then, and now it's cadence and kind of I can make these rhymes and popular phrases, cadence and popular phrases. You know what I'm saying? So
you see that? Come on, Pharrell, drop a hot 16 for us.
It's interesting. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. But I think the whole music scheme has changed up as far as R&B and hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, it was more subtle innuendo and kind of like. But now
it was. See, that part. Let me cut you off.
I
don't think there was subtle innuendos when you say, "I want to be your candy liquor." I don't know. I don't know if that's a subtle innuendo.
No.
And there are plenty of songs.
Corey,
if you go back and you listen to them, if you go listen to these old songs, you like, wait a minute.
Thomas, I'm right there with you, man. Okay. But I want to be your candy looker. It's subtle. Because instead of me saying candy, I'm going ahead and say the whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I mean, it's a song now.
I have this thing about like what we see today in rap and what we see the way things are is our generation started certain things. You know, we took it to the limit and other people just said, well, the limit is a little bit further. Well, the limit's a little bit further. It's like TV. You know, back in the days, there's certain things you couldn't watch on TV. Now you watch a commercial, you like, the other day I was watching that new lemon lime soda commercial, and it has Kiki Palmer in, I think. And I didn't really pay attention to it. I was like, the whole time I'm looking, is like, why do they have another lemon lime soda? Right? Why are they trying to be Sprite? Right. But I didn't realize the whole time this thing is forming a man, and she's in there kissing the soda and just like. I'm like, this is a soda commercial. I didn't even realize it until maybe watching like the third time I watched it. I was like, oh dang, she up here tonguing down the soda.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna leave that way. I said, yeah, I'm right there with you on that, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything has evolved to where back in the day it wouldn't even been, especially video, like visual. It wouldn't be in your face like that. But and the music is the same, because I think about Chris Brown and some of the stuff that he got coming on the radio now. Now, back in the day, you didn't have to really bleep R&B music.
Oh, right. That's true.
Now you got to bleep.
That's true.
R&B music. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. At least in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? But so I still like it though. You know what I'm saying? I still like, even though you gotta bleep it, I like playing the original. I like to hear the cuss word. You know what I'm saying? But
I got a filter on I use Pandora, so I have the clean filter. But every now and then some crazy stuff come out, and I just find myself, no, I'm just kidding. But today's rap and stuff, everything isn't crap about today's rap. It is there's some good stuff. Rod Wave is, to me, my favorite, like kind of newer artist, because
Rod Wave,
because he still tells stories, and the way he tells his stories and his beats are hitting, and I still listen to things like the Migos and Lil Baby and all these other things, but it's kind of different. Like Drake is, everybody loves Drake, but a lot of his stuff, to me, his rap stuff is terrible, in a sense. And
lately.
It's just people, we gravitate to what we like. Chris Brown has evolved from his younger days to where he is today, and he's still relevant, and I think that's the main thing. It's like social media. You try to keep yourself relevant.
Right.
I agree. It's still some form of good out there, but I guess it's not our generation. Because like you say, our generation don't think this is the bomb. When they get older and their kids start getting to be teenagers, they're going to be like, who knows what it's going to sound like
Listen, I'm like, even my son, like stuff he's interested in and stuff his cousin Danny's interested in. Music's gonna be way different.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be way. But do you think you should still call it rap?
Ooh.
Don't you think you should change the genre at that point, or something? Because you're changing
But
the style of
like,
the music.
There's singing, right?
Right.
And then there's
spandex
rap.
is still clothing.
You said
Spandex is still clothing. He said. But I'm saying, like, you can look at some music and the way it's evolved, and you don't call bluegrass is bluegrass and country is country, right?
Right.
And so if you start thinking of that, it's a little bit different.
Right.
And so I think there should be some kind of other name for some of this music that's coming out instead of trying to compare
You're right.
it
Maybe it's time for
to the authentic
Yeah,
stuff.
but my question is for Sean: do the people who mumble rap call it mumble rap?
I was wondering that. That's a good question. No,
No,
I
they
was
don't.
wondering. I'm not.
That's
I'm
the
not
people.
in that.
That's the people who aren't feeling it,
Right.
giving it a derogatory term.
Yeah,
They are mumbling.
But yeah, you can't.
And then they're killing the auto tune. Remember back in the day, we had Roger for auto tune. That's it.
That was it.
Right.
One dude. It was one dude. It was one dude. Now everybody doing it. So yeah,
Right. That is so funny. You're right. He was. I think he
That
know
means,
what.
that means Roger set people to flight.
You said what?
What was that?
That means Roger set people to flight.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But Roger could actually sing though, without it. You know what I'm saying? So that. A lot of these cats can't sing at all. Just
T-Pain can sing.
Here's what I know.
T-Pain,
yeah. I would give you that.
We sound like Make America Great Again.
There was a time where it was actually. I'm lying. It wasn't.
He said, "Oh, hold on." Reese said, "He said, okay." He said, "I can't endorse ghostwriting because one guy lost his voice." He said, "I'm not willing to sacrifice a whole industry to feel good about the DOC."
If you look back,
if you really, writing, but not the gift of rapping. I mean, you can't just ignore the gift. You have to. People want to be able to contribute to the industry, and not everybody can get on stage. It's interesting. People used to tease. People call Whitney Houston an entertainer.
Yeah.
They said that Vanessa Williams was boring because she was singing, but she couldn't entertain. You put her on stage and she was boring. But when you put Whitney Houston on stage, Whitney Houston can sing, but she was an entertainer. Luther was an entertainer.
Luther.
Not everybody that can sing can entertain. Right. And not everybody that can write can sing. Not everybody that can write.
Was Luther really an entertainer though?
Yes.
Like Luther. Yes. Luther would walk across that stage. You ain't never see Luther do no move. Luther ain't
you got to remember.
He had that vocal presence. Go ahead.
He had presence.
No, I'm saying Luther was a vocalist. Luther was appreciated. That's like your boy Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder was a vocalist. He was a all-around genius, but I wouldn't say he was an entertainer because he was always at the piano. You didn't see him go nowhere. I mean, now this is just me now. When I think of entertainer, I'm thinking around the package, like you dancing, you doing this, you making a whole, like when you go into your break.
You know what entertainment is? An entertainer is someone who keeps your attention.
Right.
You're entertaining
them.
That's the dancing part of it. The extra. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just for me though.
I think people would pack out Madison Square Garden just based on their voice because they'll entertain them.
Right.
I don't think that. I think the show also matters. You can have a show and little singing and still do the same thing.
But I think you would do things.
Yeah, but the question is,
and that's like Adele.
When Luther was on stage,
back out Madison Square Garden.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? But she gonna be right there in front of that microphone and ain't gonna move.
Ain't gonna move.
Ain't gonna move, but she'll pack it out.
Who?
Adele.
Yeah, listen, Adele to me does not count as an entertainer.
Yeah.
What?
No, she's a singer.
Let me go back to this.
You can close your eyes. You can close your eyes and have just as much fun. What I'm saying is, when you went to see Luther, your eyes were on Luther. People
everybody got their own little, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the numbers show, the fandom shows who the entertainers were, or who the entertainers are. We may not agree with it, but I'm saying the numbers, the statistics will show you. And what I'm saying statistically, historically, Luther was recognized as an entertainer.
But put Luther on the stage now if he was here, right? If he was still around, could you put him on stage and entertain a new audience? The way
Not
he
a new audience, no, because that era, the era
back then was you could stand in front of a microphone back then. You didn't have to have a big old stage and big old bands and all these light shows and all that other stuff.
I mean, you guys act like Earth, Wind, and Fire didn't exist when Luther was singing.
I'm saying
you guys act like
you didn't have to. I didn't say it didn't exist. You didn't have to have it, is what I'm saying.
No, the reality is they were still entertainers.
Right.
Oh yeah, but they are skillful entertainers also. I mean, you had the Jacksons. You had a lot of people around back then that were still entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, you think about Rick James.
Rick James.
Well, he was. Are you entertained? Come on, Rick James is the man. Well, back in the day. Come on, it's just I think it's just everybody's perception.
You want to talk about entertainment, no singing, but just got skills? James Brown.
Right.
Do you really like James Brown? His voice? You don't like his voice.
Yeah.
He has hits. Yeah. He has hits, and he's an entertainer, but he wasn't a really good vocalist.
I think we're crossing over the genres. You think about, when you went to listen to Luther, you weren't looking for James Brown.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean when I say for what Luther provided, he was a great entertainer with the type of genre. I'm like, not everybody could do, even if you could sing, not everybody could keep an audience, keep their attention the way that Luther could do that.
Right.
So in his own right, he was absolutely a fantastic entertainer.
But I mean,
let's use Luther as. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, when you go to see Luther, you're going for specific something.
Right.
Luther, when you go see Jeffrey Osborne, you're going for a specific something. You're going for a specific something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All them cats, they had their own lane, but they were still right there, microphone. You know what I'm saying? It was they were all for the purpose of the women, really. You know what I'm saying? But when you get into the entertainment, it's everybody that's in tune. You know what I'm saying?
Would you agree that Dionne Warwick could sing?
I wouldn't put her up there high, but yeah, she was a definite vocalist. Yeah, she was a vocalist. Dionne Warwick, I was Stephanie Mills, Patti LaBelle. I would go Gladys Knight. All of them were great women singers. I'm not going to discount none of them because they all in that same era. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely say they are all great singers.
And people would say that Dionne Warwick can sing, but she wasn't an entertainer.
Well, all them other women I just said could sing, but weren't entertainers.
Stephanie Mills could sing her behind off, but she wasn't an entertainer.
So
I'm saying there's history behind this, and people will. And if you go talk to the people who followed these folks, they will tell you the difference. People knew the difference between someone who could sing and someone who could sing and dance, sing and entertain. Right. And all I'm saying,
sing and dance. Luther was not that dude who could sing and dance.
Well, here's an interesting thing, because we just crossed over from talking rap to talking Luther, right? And the interesting thing is, do you know how many different songs Luther covered that he did not write?
A bunch of them.
He took other people's songs and sung other people's hits.
He sung all the songs. Yeah.
He covered over 100 different artists in his singing, and we call him an icon. And we talk about because his voice, right?
Yeah, his voice is amazing though.
When you start thinking about like how we started this conversation, and we jump to Luther, no one's talking about Luther as not a writer and not this and that. Luther wasn't a writer, he just had the voice. give Luther a song and he's gonna kill it. You know, you want to hit.
Mary had a little lamb.
Luther, I did this song in 1956. It didn't do nothing. Can you sing it?
Right. Sing this one.
Yeah.
Sing this.
It was a hit maker.
Yeah, he was.
So, so his voice was mesmerizing, you know?
Yes.
And then we have songs and moments. And I mean, if you think about like The Wood and you think about how Luther played a part in that movie, because you remember the song, you remember the voice, you remember all these other things. But he wasn't even the original maker of that song.
Right.
And so it's like, but we remember it and we have memories of certain things because Luther, his voice was entertainment.
Right.
There you go. Yep.
Dave Case was all the above, wrote for male and female. Yeah. Just like Prince. Yeah.
Yeah, Babyface. Yeah, Babyface was, and he was a vocalist and a writer.
Right.
Was he an entertainer? Nope. Babyface ain't gonna skip across that stage. You know
Not skip.
He won't, but he'll have people around him doing it.
Right.
He'll have the women around him and he'll have the entertainment. I saw Kim in concert, and Kim is not an entertainer at all, but he had his dancers. He had people that make the song come to life through their motion and everything else. And, you know, Kim just sounded, I'll never, you know, he just sings. But I'm not even going to try to hit the note.
Get it, Thomas. Come on, brother.
We're going to do it. This is a show. We're trying to keep this show together and build it, not push people away. I'm not going to sing. So,
okay, so Justin, I still listen to Babyface. Nice. Okay.
But you think about all the new artists that's coming out now. Doja Cat. You think about who? You think about all the new artists.
Doja Cat.
Yeah,
that's a real rapper. That's real. Yeah,
they come up with the whole package. They gotta dance, they gotta sing, they gotta do everything as in one bundle now.
I'm still trying to figure out who decided to call himself Doja Cat.
Oh, it's a female.
It's a female.
Oh, okay.
Right, it make a little more sense. It's a little better.
Yeah. So I mean, but back then it was totally different. You know what I'm saying? Totally different.
Not gonna happen, Jeff. But if you bust a beat, I'm gonna get it on it. I'm just saying, you know, I got lyrics, you know. Wait a minute. Can you write that for me? No,
yeah, man, it's interesting, and the fact that you go back and to Brian's point, it's all in the eye of the beholder of who you hold as an entertainer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in Brian's eyes, Luther was a world-renowned entertainer, by his definition.
Right. Time out. Wait. I wasn't a Luther fan. I'm only giving you. Listen.
Based on surveys.
What I mean by that is I appreciate his music and everything, but I never went out and bought a cassette tape with Luther or a CD with Luther. I didn't mind listening to the music, but I wasn't like a Luther fan like that. What I'm saying, I'm only giving you what the history and what the record says. The record says that he was an entertainer. He didn't, like, for me, he was another singer. But I'm saying when I look at the history, that's all. That was the only point I was making. And not because I
fan of Luther.
Huh?
I thought you was a fan of Luther.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I like his music, but I would never go out and buy it. If it came on the radio, that's cool. You know.
Oh my! You got all this passion. You ain't even like the dude. I thought you liked the dude.
My problem with Luther is that in my mind, I never felt like Luther was going to be able to take any woman from the audience home.
Oh, he took their panties home. What I hear,
right? But he wouldn't take any of the women.
I got it.
That's how I felt.
I'm too young to feel that way because I never looked at it until I was real grown. But
right. Like,
but at that age, 17, 16, 17.
You don't really notice it. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm not even thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? 16, 17. Yeah. I'm literally on the phone with my girl singing Luther. Never gonna give up. I'm just never gonna give up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And so it was. Yeah.
Freddie Jackson was another one. Freddie Jackson could sing his behind off, but again, I never saw in my mind Freddie Jackson wasn't taking anybody home.
All right, so let me say this. I saw Freddie Jackson.
I'm just telling you the mannerisms of the individuals. I'm like, when you were young and you listen to those guys, you know, part of the fame was, you know, as a young guy, I'm like, oh man, I bet he get all the ladies. You know, but I couldn't follow guys that I didn't think could get all the ladies.
Yeah, but you didn't know about
Prince because you thought he could get the lady.
Afterwards,
no, I didn't know anything like that. There was no. It was just a feeling like that's odd. I just wasn't feeling the individual. The music was great, but I wasn't feeling the individual. I didn't get bravado from the individual.
I would actually put the phone to the radio and just let the song. Girl,
I would do that, but I didn't do that with Luther.
Don't let Prince come on with that Adore. Put that.
Girl, you hear that? You hear that, girl?
Look, I saw Freddie Jackson in concert. And it was in the 2000s that I saw him sometime.
See, I was like Marvin Gaye.
I think he was a really good entertainer. Even surprised me, Freddie Jackson.
Oh yeah,
surprised me as an entertainer. Yeah. Now, one of the best entertainers back in the day.
Jackson was just odd, man. The personality, the mannerisms was just odd to me back then.
Yeah,
when Freddie Jackson was popular, I was in the military.
Okay.
And you know, you weren't gonna roll up on me in my car and hear Freddie Jackson playing, and I'm in the car by myself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the song, right? I was trying to think of a song.
No. Hey, let your girl hear that. Just bam. You ain't gotta ask her to be your girlfriend. Just Freddie, speak for me, Freddie.
Yeah. He used to take it in there.
So I got one of those with the 99 cents for a penny club. Remember that? Remember the club, the penny club?
Oh yeah, used to get you.
Right. That's how they got you.
You thought you was getting something. Next thing you know, you're getting a bill. You're getting a bill. And here's the next delivery of cassettes.
All right, Reese, you can.
Who is Jermaine Stewart? I don't know who that is.
Jermaine Stewart was a singer. Good singer.
Give me the song. You got to give me the hit. What's this hit?
Oh Lord.
I don't know.
I'll Google it. Right, Columbia House. Yeah. I was trying to remember the company. Columbia House.
So you know, when we first started this conversation, we were talking about writers, and I bet you if you go back and you look at a lot of the songs we thought were dope back in the days. Oh, yeah. There was probably some credits on the little 45 or something that showed
we never paid attention to
writers. We never looked at that stuff. We just looked at the person, and we thought, man, they got lyrics, they got bars.
We assumed,
and when we assume those kind of things, we never read. And so I think that a lot of times if we go back, because there's times where I go back and I look at 45s and you know, I see things and I'm like, man, I never knew this person was on this hit with this person, or this person produced. They were working together, you know. You just never know. Like, you know, how many songs you think MC Lyte wrote all of her lyrics back in the day?
Yes.
You think all of them?
All of them? Did. I'm gonna look them up.
I swear she did, right?
I swear she did.
Swear she did. But do you know?
I'm not even looking up. I don't want to be crushed.
I don't know. I don't know. The point is, we don't know. But she had a crew around her of writers, of people we know that can write, of hit makers, of people that built her up as a teenage person, a teenage woman, a girl, into, you know, this icon. So not saying anything bad. I love MC Lyte, but I'm saying we don't know.
Light as a rock. I'm going to check. I'm checking Light as a rock.
Look at Reese's comment.
Listen, that dude. We don't have to take a close.
We don't have to take.
But listen, let me.
That's a one-hit wonder, isn't it? Is he an entertainer or a one-hit wonder? I'm just wondering.
He was a one-hit wonder. But here's the thing: look at the song. The song says we don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Right. And my point when Reese said, I can understand, I bet I can guess how Pastor felt about Jermaine Stewart. Jermaine Stewart didn't even want to take his clothes off.
Well, check this out. Let me give you a different twist on Jermaine Stewart.
That's a problem right there.
Listen, let me give you a different twist on Jermaine Stewart, because he said we don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time, right? We can dance and party all night and drink some cherry wine. See, he's just trying to get you to the wine, because once you wine, your guard goes down, and he has you. We ain't gonna do all this. That was just game. All right. See,
yeah, but you got to remember though, I come from the era where somebody said, "Shut it off, turn them off,
turn them off."
So we was back then. If you got somebody saying, "Turn them off," somebody says, "We don't have to take our clothes off," who you think I'm choosing?
But that's that same era had a dude talking about lay your head on my pillow. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, there's a whole group.
I'm talking about Al Green. Al Green came out with that.
Well, it goes both ways, though. I mean, you had the love, you had the ballads, you had the the Teddy Pendergrasses. But hey, did you see what AD showed up there? MC Light, written by Audio 2 and MC Light. It wasn't just written by.
She had some help, but she was at least there. She put some input.
Look, written by King of Chill. Now, maybe she might have changed a lyric, because you notice the order it's in. Yeah, it's not her first written by, it's someone else. And usually when you do the order of, when you cite something, I'm just saying.
Reese. He said, I'll put the comment up, Reese. He said my MC Light is horrible. She never wrote her rhymes. LL Cool J wrote her verse on self-destruction. What you're not gonna do is disrespect MC Light. I'm gonna keep my fantasy about her lyrical, lyrical delivery.
You're losing credibility, Reese. You can't just go in on everybody. You're losing credibility. The point is, she isn't alone on this. She is not alone on that aspect of co-writing something and co-written by.
Because
so we got to get our head out the clouds, thinking that all the MCs from back in the days wrote all.
I was like, wow, that was such a sin, especially back in the days. Like everybody, the perception was everybody wrote their own. You write your own stuff. You don't write your own stuff. There's something wrong with that. Because even I remember, what's his name? I talked about LL Cool J. Someone writing this stuff. The beef he had with what's my man? He didn't last long after the beef. No, not Kumodi. The other one. After that, they did a song together, and he talked about cannabis.
Honorable mention. But okay, let me say something though, because we're here talking about writing, but there is something that we all know, that if you cannot do, you're not a rapper, you're not an MC. Can you freestyle?
Right.
We're talking about Freestyle Friday right now, but that's where can you get on stage and go for yours, put a beat on, and let's go for it.
That's when that's right. That's what rapping is really about.
That. A lot of the MCs from back in the days, even though Reese disrespected MC Light, she can freestyle. People can freestyle, and that's the one thing. If you couldn't freestyle, then you lost credibility.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. Because that's really how you able to be a lyrical or to be a writer. Right. You gotta say it first before you can write it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm gonna think about no. You might not be saying it vocally out your mouth, but in your head, you rap that rhyme. That's what you put it down on paper. So you got to be able to freestyle. I will give you that, because if you can't step in a circle and go toe to toe with somebody freestyling, it's kind of hard to call you an MC.
So think about right now when they do these ciphers, right?
Credibility meant a lot.
You got these ciphers that go on, and when we're watching these ciphers, if you can tell that people wrote their stuff and they pre-plan how they're going to do this stuff. And when they do that, it's like, okay, you're losing a part of the art, and that's I think where I lose kind of,
I think the challenge is because a lot of times I believe some freestyles are just
songs I probably never said that I've had written down, but I remember parts of it and I just put everything together. But but the freestyle is happening when they start describing stuff in the room or conversation we're having, and you're like, oh, they're going off the top. That's right.
So that's what makes Eminem so talented, and why people like Eminem, I think, is because he can also his lyrics and the way he can freestyle and everything. I'm not a real Eminem fan.
He
but
must actually met MC Light, and she ain't give him no time.
When you was at the radio station, what did MC Light do? Did she ignore you?
She did.
Something happened. Something happened.
You was on Hot 97. She ignored you.
Yeah, it's personal. It's personal with MC Light, man.
Right. MC Light did so. I said, I had a partner who can rap about anything, anytime, right? Will freestyle and say any word. And but the problem was, like, there were freestylers that could freestyle, but they could never put an album together. They could never write hit songs, kind of like street ballers. Like they could play street ball. They were nice, but they could never play organized basketball enough to go to the next level.
That's like Lil Flip.
Okay.
Lil Flip was the king of free in Houston now.
Right. No doubt.
I'm talking about get on there and rap for a whole hour. Freestyle. Freestyle. But when it comes to albums, he had to hit there. David Banner, Pimp C. He had to get all these Scarface, Mike Dean. He had to get all these folks to help him put the album together. And then he couldn't string together no more albums because it was like, hold on, man. That's all you is a freestyle king. You know what I'm saying?
Right. She did do something exist in the rap game.
He well, I wanted to be like Moni Love. Did you like Moni Love?
Did you like Moni Love? Did you like Queen Latifah at least?
Yeah, I mean, they were some.
Do I see a trend here? Not during women. Not during women's history month.
That's what we going for. Look, see where we going.
Not during women's history month.
Is this a dislike for a certain kind of rapper? Heather B, you like Heather B?
Because Moni Love was shoot.
What did he say? I just discovered a second topic next to sports. I feel like a ham sandwich. And
he don't know none of these rappers.
Okay. Oh, see, he said I love Queen. Moni Love is a friend. That don't count, Reese. Moni Love being your friend. I'm talking about lyrically. That's personal. You ain't gonna talk about it. Okay.
Some of my best friends are rappers.
She got a good personality.
Right.
Some of my best friends are rappers.
Right.
Yeah. Moni Love, she a radio personality now, so they might rub shoulders all the time.
All right, so where's it? Mama Corey called it. Where's she at? She said it's joke time. She said dad jokes.
Oh,
he's thinking of hip hop, hippity hop, rappity dap.
9:59. Yeah.
Come on with it, Pastor. Come on with it. What you got for us?
Brother Brian.
I thought you guys had it. Okay.
No, go ahead on. It's your time to shine, bro.
He said I don't know rap, but I know dad jokes. Said name calling is my favorite Queen song. Okay, this and female rappers. Okay.
What do you call a well-balanced horse? A stable.
A stable.
Wow.
What do you call a horse after it trips and falls? Or what did the horse say when he tripped and fell?
What's that?
Help, I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
Got him. Look at Kaneem. Got him. Look at him. He's trying. He had to put his head down for that one.
Bro, that was just pure. I'm gonna let you have it, man. Go ahead.
What do you call an angry carrot? A steamed veggie.
I'm good.
Let me go back to that horse joke real quick. What'd you say?
Polar bears keep their money in a snowbank.
Right.
Okay.
So let me go back to the horse joke real quick. It was so funny that you didn't get the delivery right and Kaneem still laughed.
No. No.
That's how funny that joke was.
Kaneem, how do you make an egg roll?
You got me.
You push it. What? What would bears be? Listen to me now. What would bears be without bees?
Ears.
Boom.
Yeah. Is that it?
What did the triangle say to the circle?
Goodbye.
They're pointless.
They're pointless.
Hey, I gotta take this call, fellas.
I didn't hear nothing ring. Kaneem, I didn't hear nothing ring.
You gotta deal with this. You gotta deal with this.
Oh, have a good one. Hey,
deal with it.
All right, Kaneem, man. Love you. Listen, guys, appreciate you guys for being with us. Rocking with us.
Rest in peace, boiling water. You're missed. Paddington told me that joke.
Right, you said Kaneem kid.
Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. You get that about 2:00.
Right. Time
flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like
a
banana.
Oh, I got it. A fruit fly likes bananas.
A banana.
Right. Got it. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay, it's too deep. That's too deep. All right.
I got it.
I ordered a chicken and an egg online. I'll let you know what comes first.
You said I'm still thinking. I know.
Look,
he said, "What do you call a multi-platinum female rap group? Non-existent."
I don't know. Aren't they out there?
Why was Cinderella so bad at soccer?
Why?
She kept running from the ball.
All righty. All right, guys.
Y'all heard this one before. What do lawyers wear to court?
No. What?
Lawsuits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes sense.
He said it makes sense.
But it's the lawyer you're talking about.
Where was King David's temple located? Next to his ear.
Next to his ear. Next to his ear.
The temple's next to your ear.
Oh my.
988. You anyone's having a mental health crisis? 988. Or listen to the dad jokes. We'll make you feel better.
Jeff, give us
what
that
did
number,
one
please.
toilet say to the other?
What's that?
You look flushed.
Know that we love you. Jesus loves you better. We look forward to seeing you guys next week, Tuesday.
What lights up a soccer stadium?
What's that?
A soccer match.
Next week, guys. Appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. He said 3 amigos. They're getting so bad. He said, what Thomas is trying to build a case. 933 for easy payback.
Yeah, there we go. 933. Down 933. Easy.
Hey, Kim, how are you?
933.
So listen, appreciate you guys for being here, hanging with us. Someone else came through. I don't think I said hey to. Where did they go? Okay, I think I lost them. All right. Oh, Mr. Sonia, thank you for rocking with us as well. All right, so we see you guys next week, same time, same channel. Stay connected. Dial 988. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Never miss what's happening with us
Oh, the brothers of Lexi. Text L. Join our community. Join our community. All right. Think that's it. All hearts and minds are clear. Give us the last one. I see it burning in you. Give us one more.
What's the difference between a poorly dressed man on a tricycle and a well-dressed man on a bicycle?
What's that?
Attire.